兄さん。サスケ、あの連携で行くぞ。
Mr. Huber, Mr. Damiani, one question: how much you love Naruto?
So much.
So much.
I've been looking forward to this because this is just a reason to talk about Naruto. So I'm
There's
pretty
so much
hyped
to talk
right now.
about. Yeah.
Ooh.
You played the new game,
Yeah.
Ninja Storm Revolutions.
Yeah.
What did you think about it? Did you think that it was different from the other iterations, or is it adding on?
It's wildly inconsistent.
Ooh.
So
That's strange.
So yeah, the one-on-one battles, or I mean, they're technically one-on-one. You have like a support guy with you that can come in and do moves. Those are really cool. They're really cinematic. They're fast. It's like the older PS3 games. You can do substitution jutsus, and it's just pretty fast and chaotic. But then there's these 4-man battle royales.
Oh
my God.
Again.
I can't even imagine that.
Nope.
There's 4 people on screen at once, and you're hitting each other for orbs.
They've had this before. Yes.
It's awful.
not good.
It is
Yeah.
so. It is shocking how much different that mode is compared to the traditional one-on-one. It's like 2 entirely different games.
It can't really work though, because in the one-on-one, you're already locked onto your opponent. There's always that line.
Yeah.
How do you do that with 4 people?
You have like an auto lock-on button, and you can cycle over to attack someone else. But it's just
seems so
it's
bad.
really janky. It's people just like pop, pop, pop. So it's really bad.
I think that this game is special in the sense that like the story modes are a little bit different, right? It
Yeah,
seems
so
like they're adding a
that's-
lot of story and lore into this game that we don't even see in like the anime or the manga.
There is a mode where you see the origins of the Akatsuki.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty awesome. It's really well done. The dialogue is whatever, nothing to
even
write
get
home
that.
about. But
Yeah.
the animation is really great. And right off the bat, there's like a 15-minute cutscene before you even start to play. So there's a ton of CGs, which are really cool. It's, the formation of the Akatsuki, them recruiting each member. So you get to see all your favorite members that may or may not be alive today in the manga or the anime.
That's great.
So it's really cool seeing all that.
Do you get that feeling while you're playing through the story that you're actually those characters? How is it set up? Is it you play as that one specific character, you choose that character and you go through his whole life as an Akatsuki, or is it just all mixed together?
So in the beginning, you're Pain, you go to recruit Kakuzu, you're playing as Pain, and then in the next one, you're Conan going to recruit Sasori, and you play as Conan. But my question is, because there's also like a weird free roam mode that's really small. It's part of the world tournament. You go around, you go find Naruto, he's hiding, like you go find him and then you can recruit him to your team. My question to you guys, specifically you, Mr. Damiani, what would your ideal Naruto game be? Because they had those older ones that were on 360, which went through just Naruto, not Shippuden, which were actually pretty fun. You went through the entire plot, you could run around the Village of the Leaf, and it was a surprisingly good game, but now they've gone more towards like just fighting games.
But
what would your ideal game be?
Those are also different iterations of it though, because there is Ninja Storm, which is, like the Royale. They get all the characters together. And then they've also had those, side story missions where it's just Naruto and it's a story game and you just kind of roam around the world and you complete a story.
Yeah.
I like the previous games where it had a little bit of that to unlock the characters,
Yeah.
because instead of playing arcade mode just over and over again, trying to be first and beat it and then get a new character, actually exploring a world, doing like different objectives, and then getting those characters, I thought was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the older games, the ones that were the predated Ultimate Ninja Storm, I liked how, as you said, Hubert, there was like a story mode where you were free to explore Konoha. And it felt more like open environment, like a sandbox, and there were like missions. There's like racing things, like race across town, go to the opposite. Like you actually got to use your chakra to like run up walls.
You had to like
I was
enter
like,
it.
oh, look at this. This is kind of cool. And they kind of went away from that in Ultimate Ninja Storm and the story modes. They kind of became very linear. They did those. They eventually moved to like pre-drawn backgrounds for for these tiny areas. It almost became like filler stuff. Like it was just walk across the screen to like the next like cutscene. It's like, yeah, I don't really need this. But what I liked about the story mode in the newer Ultimate Ninja Storm games was how close it was to the manga/anime.
Yeah.
And basically a different version, a different visual version of it, to the point where sometimes I think I heard you say this. I thought about this too. Is like, I would love to see them redo the show with this game, the game and just visuals.
Actually,
Pretty.
the episodes that are out now involve one of the characters that they made for the game, which is Mecha Naruto.
Yeah.
So I think the reason they even made this game in general, because it's pretty much very close to the last arcs, if you are familiar with the show, is to really like have that sort of like synergy between the games and the actual show itself, which I thought was really cool. It's nice to have that little tidbit that's like, oh, here I'm watching the anime, but I'm connecting back to the game. That gives me more reason to play the game and also just get all of that extra lore in if you're like a really fanatic.
I just think the game is like the story. There's just a little too much fat. They need to focus their efforts more. There's just a lot of filler. Like this battle royale mode doesn't even need to be there. Yeah. There are episodes in the show that don't need to be there. I'm worried now. Like prime example is comparing it to Dragon Ball. Some of the earlier Dragon Ball games are great because you're reliving the story. The fighting was new, but then it's like, how many times can we replay the Saiyan invasion, the Cell Saga? So I mean, there's so much Naruto story that I would love for them to, focus their efforts on just telling a story rather than having some weird 4-player battle royale for orbs.
Yeah,
like, there's no reason for that.
I kind of, to go back to your question, like what would be like more like ideal, I think what they should do is try and stick to making these like, I don't even know if they should keep making them like, they wait for like the manga and anime to progress far enough, then they go make a game covering those arcs. I think they should maybe try and do something where they go more hand in hand with each new episode, like because they do make the episodes ahead of time. Maybe they can make versions of the episodes with the in-game with this graphics engine. It looks amazing, and it's more like an interactive version of the episode where the key battle you go into, the arena mode, and then to finish it off, it's like the cinematic quick time. Those look so good. I love those in the Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Yeah.
Just make it like either a supplement to the episodes coming out, make them episodic content that you buy, like maybe buy an enhanced version of the episode, or
like Asura's Wrath style,
or they make an original arc or something. Like, Asura's Wrath was amazing. Like, I liked that game and how they designed it, and it felt like a 26 episode anime essentially. And I was like, all right, more people need to try doing this with their like series. Like Naruto's kind of doing that. They should go a little further at that. But like, man, so many other series could benefit. Might be even cheaper to just make this cool game engine and render your episodes in that, and just like have some parts that are interactive with the player or the viewer. They feel more engaged with it, and I don't know. I thought that'd be someone should try doing that. Make a brand new anime series that's created completely like in a CyberConnect 2's amazing engine, and see how it does.
I would say that it'd do really well. I don't know if you know about the Dot Hack series at all. That's what they pretty much did. And I honestly thought that those cinematics are probably one of the best 3D cinematics in the animation industry. Like 3D anime is hit and miss. It's so like it either works or it's just uncanny valley. And it's like anime. It shouldn't be that way. But anyway, final question is: do you think that this game adds to the whole overarching experience of Naruto for you guys, or do you think it's just a little filler, it has a little bit, but not enough?
I think it's the filler one right now. I'd wait for the next.
Yeah, I haven't touched this one, but it felt like what they did after Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, when they had a filler game in there. I was like, I'm just gonna wait for the next one. So,
definitely.
Yep.
Awesome.
Before Ian makes us quit, I have one final question.
Oh, God.
All right.
Favorite Naruto character?
Oh my God, you have to come back to me. There's so many characters.
Just quickly, because Ian's yelling at us.
I mean, I kind of liked. I mean, he's not my favorite. The one that like was like gut wrenching to see. It's either so I like Shikamaru a lot, but like their captain Asuma. When that went down,
That's funny you say that. That's so funny you say that because my all-time favorite.
Who's the king?
My all-time favorite, Kakuzu. That's pretty funny.
Nice.
What's up?
Sasori. I'm thinking about it now, but I don't know. I like puppets, and his final like puppet form was just insane. It was just like so imaginative. Like I don't know, it's kind of morbid, but like his main weapon was his like guts, which is crazy. You're like, oh my god, this guy's insane. Yeah, so that's my
You
favorite
too,
character.
viewers, tell us your favorite character.